Hey, it's Amy and welcome to Become Your Own Favorite Chef. So have you ever gone shopping in a mall or a shopping center and all of a sudden you get this big waft of candied nuts and it smells like cinnamon and sugar and just heaven on earth, and you end up shelling out $10-15 for a little bag of candied pecans? Been there, done that, couldn't help it. Well, I figured out how to make those just exactly perfect here at home, and it's so incredibly easy. So that's what we're going to do for you today. Candied pecans. Let's get started. To make these pecans is super easy. First, we need a pot. Doesn't have to be too big. I'm going to put this on medium heat. First ingredient we need is a half a cup of butter or margarine. I've tried this recipe with both. It tastes the same. So I'm trying to cut calories here, but if you prefer butter, that's fine. But a half a cup of butter or margarine. We're gonna let that melt down just a little bit. To that, we're going to add a half a cup of packed light brown or brown sugar. I like the dark brown. We're also going to do half a cup of just pure cane sugar. The brown sugar gives it a little more of a mapley taste. It won't taste like syrup, it just gives it a good flavor. But the pure cane sugar gives it that crunch that we want. It crystallizes on it. And to this we're going to add a full teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a fourth a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and then a half a teaspoon of salt. You still want this to have salt in it, not because it's going to be savory, it just helps bring out all the other flavors. And we also have water. We're going to let this melt together and then we're going to add our pecans. So let's talk about the type of pecans you want. If I am having people over and I'm cooking these pecans for anyone besides myself, I always get halved pecans. They're prettier. However, I like to put these pecans on my best salad ever. They're even better than just plain old roasted pecans, or putting them on top of ice cream or pretty much anything. And if you're going to use them in recipes like that, I just buy the bag of chopped pecans. They're not as pretty, but they're better bite size and they're cheaper. So again, you could do chopped pecans or halved pecans, but you need a bag of 16 ounces. Once everything has melted together, we're going to add our nuts straight into the pot and stir these until every nut is perfectly coated with our amazing cinnamon sugar butter recipe. I like to let these cook here in the pot for about 5 minutes on medium heat. That gives the nuts a chance to go ahead and start cooking in here. Alright, our nuts have been cooking in our sauce for about 5 minutes. This allows the nuts to really soak up that delicious sauce, and it makes the sauce a little thicker, kind of evaporates some of that excess liquid we might not have needed. And I'm going to put these directly onto a cooking tray. My oven has been preheated to 275. You should get all that sauce on there. I'm going to spread these out evenly. And we're going to cook these for about 50 minutes to an hour. But I am going to check them about halfway through, give them a stir, shake them up, turn them over so I know that they're cooking evenly. And when they're done, you're looking for them to be browner than they are now, not burnt, and insanely crunchy. So into the oven. Alright, it's been 30 minutes so far. I'm going to take these out. I'm just going to give them a stir. Make sure that they are cooking evenly. Try to even them back out. I know they're sticky. Now for the second half, I want them to cook at a little bit of a higher temperature, so I'm going to turn the oven to 300 now. So we're going from 275 to 300. We'll put them back in for another 25-30 minutes. been another 30 minutes. So our nuts, again, they cooked 30 minutes at 275, and they cooked an extra 30 minutes at 300 degrees. And you can see, let me bring this a little closer to you. They're not burnt, but they're very, very dark brown. And we're gonna let these sit for at least 15 minutes to cool. They're gonna get a little crunchier as they cool, and they won't burn your fingers or your tongue. When your nuts are completely cool, then you can start frying them off your sheet. You are gonna have to, good princess, you're gonna have to break some bundles up. It's okay, they're sticky, but once they're completely dry, they're gonna be very, very, very crunchy. And when they're completely cooled, you can taste all the flavors you're gonna get. So, I'll try one. Very crunchy. Tastes a little bit of cinnamon, a lot of sugar. It's really not as sweet as you would think. That's why it's really good on salads. But it's also, of course, perfect on any kind of dessert as well. So I'm just gonna put these back in my almond bag and use these whenever I feel like I need a delicious snack or a topping for a salad or a dessert. Hope you enjoy.